two very people very dear to me. One who's no longer with us. One was my co-worker at the University of Missouri, who was he had been on dialysis for a number of years. So, and you never know it. Gary never complained. He just did what he needed to do. If he was going to travel, he made arrangements to have the dialysis done. He was um, the most humble, giving person I've ever known. Um, he could anybody who had a question, he would just figure out the answer for them. And people always would come to Gary and ask him questions about things having to do with accounting. But Gary and I were both going through our medical stuff at the same time, so we talked a lot about it with each other. I have another very good friend um, that we would go to lunch, quite often, and we would just talk about the stuff in our lives, and it was just. I never thought of it really so much at the time, but it was, I guess, in a way, it was therapy for me. Just when you can just talk about stuff. So, um, and like maybe you have already said, when you can put words to something, then it's no more than that. It's just okay. But that was also just part of living my life. Is go to lunch with somebody. It's like I'm like, well, I'm not. I can't go to lunch because I'm this or that. Uh, because the thing that keeps so many of us going is it's the people we interact with all the time. I mean, that's what life for me is never so much about what I'm doing or whatever. It's who I'm doing it with. Like if you said, well, where do you want to go on vacation? Be like, well, I can name a couple of places, but it wouldn't matter to me unless I knew, but who's going to be there with me? I don't want to go by myself. If I was going to the Grand Canyon, that would be meaningless. Going to Grand Canyon with my wife or family or a good friend, that's what's meaningful because that's the memory.